Okay, this is a design and drafting session for project named Griffin in 2020 here, and I'm also going to be recording my iPad. I've got a kind of a go-by is what we call it, which is another plan set that we're going to try to make this Griffin project look like. So let's just do a little bit of discovery. We've got first page A1 existing site plan, A2 proposed site plan. Oh, we've got CS. What is this? Project overview. And then we've got an elevations template. Oh, so we've got another template page. And then project overview, proposed site plan, proposed elevations, proposed floor plan, proposed elevations. We've got some work done already. Okay, and then jumping back to the plan view, what do we've got here for our saved plan views? We've got, let's see, our framing floor plan view. Okay, so this looks like maybe it's a remodel. Framing roof plan, HVAC plan view, and electrical. We've got no electrical in here. Okay, so let's get back to the working plan view. And right off the bat, I just know, let's get some of the stuff out of the way. We know we need some window schedules, some door schedules, etc. I'm going to switch my toolbars over to my toolbar configuration, modeling toolbar, and let's just get this CAD detail management window up and get a window schedule in here right off the bat. I like to do everything in all caps so that you know that this is me working on it, and that way you've got a reference. I'm also going to turn off your grid. Not a huge fan of that. And let's go. We want our schedules in here. We need our window schedule, and maybe we'll detail that out in a minute. This is pretty basic stuff. Oops, just created another schedule. Let's go to the project browser and delete that. Okay. Let's get a door schedule. Okay, let's just close these. Oh, detail 1 was the thing I needed to delete. Okay. And what else are we going to need here? We might need a cabinet schedule. And I'm just hitting Control W to close that window out. Last thing I'm going to do is let's do floor plan keynotes. Maybe we will use a keynote system, introduce that. Drop a note schedule in here. Let's see what type of note schedule it defaults to. Main title, note schedule. Custom category, notes. Yes, we know that. Oh, it's going to grab all notes. No, we just want it to grab. Let's call it general note for now. That's going to be our floor plan notes. Let's put this in a side window. And what do we have here? So we've got some window schedules populating now. Something I noticed already, we've got this this designation. If I go over to Aldo, active layer display options, we're going to see we've got interior dimensions set to on. Now, my problem with this is I get a lot of issues with builders. You know, we've got some conflicting dimensions. Here we've got, especially plan checkers. We've got 14.7 is the kitchen dining area dimension, but we've actually up here, we've got 14.10 dimension. So usually I want to turn that off. I don't want to show that. If someone needs dimensions, they're going to see my dimensions that I've put in plan. Far more accurate than what shows in that, you know, how chief dimensions rooms. So that's done. We're looking at, I mean, these are very large room titles, but maybe that's a standard. Let's go look at our iPad again. It should be recording session still. Maybe not. There we go. Now it's recording session. So what do we have here? Existing. Yeah, we still do have this large room titles, covered porch, etc. Yep. Okay, so we're just looking at our go by right now to get an idea of what we've got going on here. I can see the window schedule. You guys like to show what the window looks like in that schedule. That's fine. And we're going to start populating some of this stuff into our layout to just get this started. So let's look at our layout real quick. It looks like on the elevation sheet we typically show a window schedule on the elevation sheet, which is not a bad idea by any means. And then we've got, you know, a floor plan and foundation plan on a separate sheet. Let's just grab this and drop it over proposed floor plan. This is where this should be. So let's actually grab these 3, 4, copy, delete, next page, Control Alt V, paste, hold in place. Let's go back a page. There we go. So here is where we're going to have, we're going to copy and drag this guy over, and this is going to be, actually let's copy and mirror him over in our sheet. If we can grab some kind of in-between dimension. No, doesn't want to. So maybe we'll draw some template lines in our sheet 0. There it is right there. So we got him mirrored over, but now that was the wrong move. Let's mirror him back to himself. Yep, no, that's right. Okay, so if I open this up, this is going to become some kind of foundation plan, floor plan sheet. We don't have a foundation plan laid out here. This is chief out of the box. Maybe you call it something different in your plans. So I might make a new annotation set here. But in the meantime, let's get to our active working plan view and just make a foundation plan by dropping this a level and saving this as foundation plan. Oops, all caps. And you don't want this part all caps. Okay. And we've got no walls turned on in the working layer set, and footings are off. Oh, footings are on. What am I in here? I'm in floor 0. Footings are on. Walls. Foundation level walls. Okay, something going on. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, whoa. Okay. We're in the camera view layer set, and I want to see surfaces. Floor surfaces are on. Okay. Foundation. Foundation's on. Interesting. Footing. On. Let's go walls. All my walls are on. Interesting. Something's going on here. I don't know what that is. So I'm going to rebuild this foundation. And you are just going to have to let me know if this foundation is not correct. Walls with footings. We've got this on a mono slab. Yeah, I guess we're going to lose work. I keep a copy of the original in a separate file. I duplicate that over. So now, all of a sudden, we've got floors here. So if I control tab, I should see. There we go. There's our foundation level here. So save plan view, foundation plan. If I go and just get back to my layout, I should be able to control E this guy open, set this to foundation plan, close that box out, and we should see, oh, you know what? It's got a designated floor with it. Let's go foundation level floor. There we go. So now we got a foundation plan. It looks like you've got a macro in your layout box label. Yes, you do. Scale, box scale, proposed floor plan. Let's change this to automatic label. Let's switch that guy. So now foundation plan. There we go. Let's switch all these, because if I copy paste them to keep everything in line, I want to be able to grab that label and make it uniformly change. Okay, so there we go. Got that. At some point we're going to have an E plan somewhere in here. Let's just Control Alt V this into place. And if, well, I could go back and copy the right thing. Let's get this toolbar out of the way. Please. There we go. Get it out of the way. There we go. Let's make this electrical plan. And it looked like you had some macros in our labels here, so maybe this becomes E number pound or hyphen number pound, and this can be electrical plan. Ooh, plan. There we go. So there's our electrical plan. Let's go back to our, I think we're starting from page 2, right? So do we have a page index here? Yes, we do. Is it populating? Yes, it is. Cool. Good job. All right, so Control Tab back to my primary tab. Let's get back to my working plan view. Let's take a look at this, and it's not going to go up a level, so I got to force it up a level. What about our plot plan? What are we looking at there? We have anything in here? No, not really, but this is going to become our site plan. Do we have a terrain? We do not have a terrain. Okay. So I need a couple assets. I need to have, what this AP map is going to be, so we can map this. We could either put it on terrain or CAD draft our own terrain. Let's just see if you've already got that in here. I'm going to turn all layers on. So no, we don't have anything that designates terrain on any floor. Designates our parcel map on any floor. So we're missing that. So let's go back to my plot plan layer set, and I just know that this is going to be sent to our view at layout. And which page? This is a perspective drawing. You seem to have it on this second page. So let's go grab this guy again, but this is going to be a different scale, most likely for our site plan, which is fine. We're going to change this to our plot plan. I'm doing this just so we catch that label and it's all uniform and the same. And then we'll probably have this 1/8 inch. So somewhere in here is going to be a site plan. Let's get back to that site plan, or plot plan, whatever you want to call it. And let's just drop a couple macros in here. Let's see if there are any macros in here. First off, in the CAD section, text macro management. What do we have? Okay, no user created ones, so let's just grab one of mine. Yeah. Sure, do this for all. Okay, so we've got some of my macros in here. So let's do a couple things. One is, let's grab our exterior here. And we're going to make living area polyline, alternatively make room polyline. That's the living area. That's a good one to have. Let's grab this. Let's call this is going to be pretty much like conditioned floor space, right? So user defined, let's pick a good one here. So we want existing first floor. I don't know if this is a remodel or addition or what. So that's a good question to ask. Otherwise, everything I'm doing is kind of futile, but let's just show this just as an example that we're going to call this a new first floor square foot. We should almost call it conditioned square space. Anyways, and it looks like our P labels are turned off. They are turned off, and our P labels are really huge. CAD plot plan. Let's turn it down to 1/2 inch textile. What do we got there? Oh, that's too small. Excuse me, 1/8 inch textile. We had an 1/8 inch square scale. So I could grab this, put it on the side, stack these up with, because we could get this room area polyline. Excuse me. Make room polyline. Same thing. We could make this in our label. We can drag this guy in. User define. Let's go. This is like coverage. So new coverage square foot. And we could start lining these up, and then once these are all lined up and the way that we want to, I do it a little bit differently in my own workflow, but we could essentially just send that view to layout and have that populate in your project information dialog, right? We could just drag and drop here, so it's dynamic. Anytime you change any of that stuff, all you need to do is drag the CAD box, and it would dynamically change your conditioned areas. The cool thing about this is that when it's all said and done, this will do all the calculations for me in. Let's just throw a text box in here. Let's see if my binding's wrong on this. Where's my text tools? So what I could do is just drag this guy right here, and what it's going to do is total coverage percentage, that kind of thing. So we need a couple things. We need a lot size, because right now it's just picking up our single coverage. And if we had a garage or something else, it's going to do the calcs for us. All this stuff is going to be animated for us or calculated for us. So something we could get ahead of for another drafting session where we can automate that that project information section here. So scope of work, architect, we've got a perspective drawing we need to send. That's a simple thing anybody could do. Plot plan view is going to need to get worked on. This is proposed site plan, so maybe those two views will switch. Foundation plan, working plan view, and our elevations. Now let's look at our iPad. And what do we got going on here in elevations? Oh, that's right. This is where our window and door schedules go. So let's open up that project browser real quick, get that window schedule, and let's get this modified. We've got a couple different things in here. One is the 3D exterior elevation we want in here, and we're going to take that all the way up. And then what else do we have? We have a number behind that. We've got a label, quantity, size, floor in this case doesn't matter. We can remove this. We've got size, width, height, RO, yes. Egress, we don't seem to be noting that in yours. Description is okay. Don't want the header. Let's start at the bottom here. Comments removed, everything removed, but description here. Okay. And it looks like you have a text style associated with yours, American Architect. So that should revert back to what it needs to be. So let's Control U this over to your layout. Okay. And maybe we want to get a center of line here. What do we have? There's a center line. If you didn't know that, you can see, you know, anytime you drag your cursor, I want to just click L for line, and I'm going to try to catch a snap point. So here's a snap point. You can see it right there. You see that icon? See how it looks like an hourglass? And then I drag to the center, and right around center, right there, it changes to a triangle. That directly, in case you didn't know this, this is just a nice little thing to know, and I won't say it again. That corresponds to these icons right here for the different types of snap points that are enabled. So I'm just going to grab this center line. I'm also going to put another layer in your setup here, but I'm just going to paste this. Let's see, which is this? You seem to have a center line. That's in your elevation views. I'm going to paste this right here. I'm going to open it up. We're going to create a new layer. New layer, and let's just call this. I'm going to call this section lines. I mean, you can call this layout lines, maybe better. Layout lines. I'm going to change the default line style to something dashed and maybe a light gray. And I'm even going to set my CAD defaults in layout to that layout lines, because I'm going to do a couple of these. So I've got this layout line. Let's just extend this. I'm going to hold C, so I'm extending both ways, way past the layout sheet. And then I'm going to copy this in place, reflect about, and I'm going to reflect about somewhere in that center of this box right here, which I'm having so much trouble finding. What a waste of time. Okay, let's just do it this way. 7/11/16 to something. And for some reason it's dimensioning to something I can't see. What do we got here? We got a really blown up feature here. It looks like a logo or something. Let's hold C and bind this down. I'm going to let you fix that. 7/11/16. It's just going to help me lay out down the line here. Let's go back up those few pages. There we go. I can center on those lines now. That's great. Let's just delete this guy. He was temporary. Everything's temporary. We'll turn out layout lines before we go to a print set, but just an easy way to organize these sheets. Oh, and this is a different sheet entirely. Let's go back to that page 0. Grab this and this guy. Copy, up page, Control V, placed in place. There we go. Back to that page. What was it, 6? Now I can center this guy on this line. Looks nice and clean. Drop him down a little bit maybe. And let's get back over to our project view, door schedule. Let's see your door schedule on your PDF, example PDF. Still got same thing. So we're going to open this up. 3D exterior elevation, add number is there. Let's move this up and start from the beginning again, or the back. So we do not have comments. Don't have manufacturer code. Thickness, I'm surprised we don't have thickness, but okay. Header. Description stays. RO, height, width, size stays. Floor is gone. Label 3D exterior. Yes. So we're done there. Let's send this. This is big, so we're going to drop this down a little bit, shrink it a little bit. Oh, I'm looking at a second window schedule. I see. And that was the door schedule. Number, label, quantity, size, width, height, RO description. Same setup. So shrink these down just a little bit so we're not taking up so much volume on our elevation sheet. Because he's a big guy. I mean, maybe we'll reorganize this sheet a little bit. Get some of these views side by side tucked up. It looks like, yeah, you managed to fit this previous project on one sheet here. Let's get him. Let's just center tool. Why not? Okay. We're going to center him on this guy and on this guy. Okay. Same thing. Let's get him up the page a little bit. All right. Have those nice and laid out. This is still not going to fit. So we could shrink him down or we could split him into two separate schedules. Two separate schedules is a little challenging. Let's see if we can squeeze any room. Not really. We could put them on a different page. It looks like we shrink the images down, these exterior elevation images down even more. Let's just see if we can squeeze that. Yeah, that seems to be doing it, except for our door schedule designations off screen. Oh, but you don't show a label on yours. You're letting the heading in the schedule itself show the label, so we'll suppress this and exit that out. Get back to this guy. Let's close him out. Let's close the window schedule out. Perspective full overview. We don't need to have open right now. So we're back to plot plan. Yes. Okay, so we've got this sheet basically set up right. Let's just check on one thing here. What do we have going on? We're only 30 minutes in, so that's pretty good. And just taking a look at your example sets again. Please ignore all the notifications I get on my iPad while I'm trying to do some work. Looks like we've got a roof plan here. I still need to know what we're even doing, if this is new construction or not. So at this point, I'm going to probably stop and ask a few questions. Let's see if there's anything else we can handle in the meantime. Need to get an AP map from you. Need to get your logos from you. Vicinity map I could probably handle, no problem, but that's something anybody could do. Got some elevation views. We've got some cross sections that probably need to happen. Got a kitchen elevation in one of these cross sections. We're showing our plate height. Okay, and then we've got some details that are populated that we're going to bring over from maybe a separate plan or something. Looks like we've got some Title 24 stuff, nailing schedule. So just typical things. I need some assets. So we're going to do a shared folder. You're going to be able to drop some assets into that shared folder so I can grab these and bring them in. And then if I have a better idea of the site plan, I could start mapping that out, get the project information done, and then start figuring out what needs to be shown on roof and as far as electrical, etc. So let's just stop this session for now. We're just at about 30 minutes. It took about 10 minutes just getting this information in place, and so we're recording probably only for about 20 minutes. So I'll talk to you soon.